To share the findings of the experiential workshop of the survey, Mr. Chan, please.
Hello, everyone. Actually, I suggest we can sit more to the front of the stage. We can just keep the first two rows, and just please come over, sit closer. Now today, our conference, we have a questions about, is our urban environment in Hong Kong ready for an aging population? Now to answer these questions, our institute has organized an experiential workshop in March this year. And the workshop location is in Sai Ying Pun, and typical old district of Hong Kong. And participants include various major stakeholders in the elderly sector, including government department, transport company, university, professionals, and also NGOs, and also elderly in the district. World Health Organization actually has a definition on healthy aging. And you can see on the screen, this statement is quite a long statement. But in short, actually, it's about how our city environment is functionally able to cater for the well-being of our older age. Now, we let the participants of the workshops to find out the answers themselves by letting them to wear that experiential gear, which let them exploring the city environment in Sai Ying Pun and find out the answer of the challenge and difficulty that the elderly has to face in a typical Hong Kong city environment. And then with this solid experience, then in the afternoon, we have a sharing session and a discussion forum. And finally, at the end of the workshop, we come up with the top concern and action list, which I will go through with you at the end of my presentation. Now, to collect the opinion, we have an online questionnaire during the survey and to collect the opinion of the participant. So I'm now going to share with you some of the survey results. Now, question number 1, what do you consider the most important for the elderly to be happy and well? In the morning, we have done a survey one time, and then in the afternoon, we have another round of survey. And at the closing of the workshop, these are the 4 top items selected by the participant. And the top on the list is stay active for better health, free and able to go places. And actually, our survey didn't stop at the workshop, and we continue to let respondents through our website and also our Facebook to give their opinion. And in fact, up to last Friday, we have received over 230 respondents on the web after the workshop. And I'm going to show you the result as well. On Facebook, coincidentally, the top 4 items are the same. And also the top item is also the same. Stay active for better health, free and able to go place. And in the questionnaire, we have another question. How well does our current urban environment support active aging? At the end of the workshop, 2/3 of the participants think we still have much to do. And from the web, the Facebook response, a little bit less, but this is understandable because they don't have the opportunity to try that experiential gear. So, but they still have over 50% of the participants saying we still have rooms to improve. Now, and then the next question, what makes an elderly-friendly urban environment? This is the workshop result, the top 4 items. And coincidentally, actually also Facebook, we also, that 230 response, also rated this 4 items as the top 4. And if we add the 2 group of respondents together, we come up with several things that we can conclude. First thing is about barrier-free. Is our city comfortably walkable? And then second on the top of the list is convenient in transportation. The third concern is amenities. Do we have a good place for the elderly to rest with suitable amenities such as drinking fountain or toilet? And then the fourth on the list is our city. Is it easy to navigate? The wayfinding, is it okay? Is it good? Now then our online surveys go to another part, more on the details. We have 4 overarching principles. The first one is about safety, the question on safety. How safe is Hong Kong urban environment for the elderly? Now the workshop participant, 2/3 of it, were at the closing of the workshop, think is somewhat dangerous. And in the Facebook, we have less. So this is something you can see. If you have the chance to experience that experiential gear, then you feel quite different. So in the web, they don't have the chance of wearing that, so only 41% feel somewhat unsafe for the elderly. Now then, we go to ask another question on safety. What are the 5 top hazards in the urban environment? At the workshop, the participants select these 5 items. And in our Facebook survey, there's some little bit difference. But if we add the 2 results together, we come up with this 5 top concerns. In the order of priority, from left to right, on the top of the list is step and uneven surface. And then second is road crossing. Third is steep road and slippery surface. And then fourth is narrow pavement. And the final one is obstacle. And as you can see in the rightmost photo, obstacle means those uncoordinated street furniture, including you can see street hydrant, lamp pole, and also street signage everywhere. They are uncoordinated. And if we add on to the narrow pavement, it makes the situation even worse. Now then, the last question about the safety. So what may be the most helpful in enhancing safety? The workshop participant and the Facebook response both point to 2 main issues. Is in our city environment, is our pavement is too narrow, and we also need more handrails to help the elderly. Okay, now then we go to second overarching principle. This is about physical support to the elderly. What are the most prominent physical challenge for the elderly? Now this is the workshop response. On the top of the response actually is the need for toilets. And then we look at the Facebook result. Need for toilets also is on the top, and in addition to the long walking distance. So I think it's quite imminent that there's a need to improve our toilet provision in the city. Now then, another question is on the supporting facilities. What is the most needed supporting facilities? At the workshop, most people think we need more bench for rest. I think because they, particularly when they go into the city environment, they feel exhausted. So that's why they think they need more bench. And then toilet is also another issue again, come up in a second. And in Facebook, we have the same result, but the bench is a bit less compared to the previous result in the workshop. But bench and also toilet are also the top 2 items. So this is quite imminent as well, to provide more sitting area for elderly in the city environment, and also as well the previous topics about toilet. And then third, about cognition. We asked the question, is navigation in the urban environment easy for pedestrians? Now at the closing of the workshop, 93%, almost all the participants in the workshop think we have really scope to improve. And compared to Facebook, it's slightly dropped, 80%, and this is the same result, similar to the previous observation, because they don't have the opportunity to try the experiential gear, so it's a bit less is expected. And I think those who has tried the gear just half an hour ago, I think you all agree to the workshop participant that once you experience the 80 years old experiential gear, you actually feel uncomfortable and all the perception change. Those signage that previously you think is okay, now appears to be difficult to read. Now then, the fourth overarching principle is well-being. We ask what may make the elderly happy in an urban setting. The workshop participants choose this 5 subjects, and in the Facebook, the 5 subjects also on the top, but the order is slightly changed. But you may notice actually on the top of this selection, connection with community is on the top. So it's echo to some of the speaker in the morning that some less tangible item, not a physical environment, also is important for the elderly. Then comes to the final concluding part of our survey. Now we asked the respondent to pick out of the 20-something items, what are the most important elements makes an elderly-friendly urban environment? And this is the top 8 items in the workshop. And in Facebook, actually, we received almost the same result with a slight change in order. And to me, actually, I think we actually know what actually we need to do in the city already. And then our next question actually is asked, after asking what, we ask who should be responsible. And in the workshop, most people think government is on the top. And then come town planner, and then private developer, and urban designer, and then the academia and researcher. By academic researchers, it includes also the funding organizations like Hong Kong Jockey Club, generosity, they're generous donations to the university to do all this sort of research. And then in the Facebook, we have a similar result. They all think government is on the top, but with a slight change in order. But looking at the result, you can also have an observation that not a single party is standing out. It's actually a collective effort of all of us, you, me, everyone's, including governors, policymakers, professionals, developers, academics, and public. And at the end of the workshop, we did have an action list conclude, as shown in here. And somehow it's echoed with the morning speaker, some of the points that they have raised. Then I would like to go through with you one by one. The first item is funding and incentive. And I remember Wilfred this morning mentioned about the $2 policy. So big and small policy can make a big change. And then the second is land selling requirement. And Rebecca did mention about the greenery provisions affect the elderly space provision. So land selling requirement is another thing. And also Bernard also mentioned about how to engage the private developer. So this is also relevant. And then the third item is community platform. And this is also mentioned by some speaker. I remember Elaine mentioned about loneliness cannot be solved by accessible ramp. So a community platform is important. And then the fourth, urban design guideline, which we are now lacking, which our institute is thinking we should do one, or the planning department should update the Hong Kong planning standard and guidelines. Like Elaine showing us, in Singapore, there is such a guideline. I guess other overseas cities also has such. And then the fifth, engage younger generation. Now this is Bernard's speech. He talks a lot about how to engage our younger generation into the topics. This is something we should also look into. And then the sixth is the neighborhood with variety. And several speakers mentioned about it. Wilfred mentioned about it. Rebecca also mentioned about it. And then 7, live closer to their family. Elaine mentioned about it, how they do it in Singapore, public housing. 8 is the policy initiative. And then 9th is the how to design in an elderly end user perspective. And I believe Martha and also Stefan will show us some more examples how we can address the design. And then the last one is we cannot do residential in country park, but probably we can use the country park to do some active aging promotion. Now, to conclude my presentations today, I would like to show you another version of our workshop video, which has summarized all the findings of our workshop. And this is the first time we show this video, and hope you enjoy that.
好嘅城市設計咧，需要照顧唔同嘅人嘅需要，尤其是長者。
其實我哋成日聽到政府講咧，我哋到2026年咧就有每3個香港人有1個嘅65歲以上。不過就我哋成日都聽，但係暫時好似未嚟到咧，大家就未去識覺到，即係當發生嘅時候咧，我哋成個城市嘅計劃咧，成個設計咧係要改變嘅。
如果我係老友記，我要喺呢度搭巴士的話咧，我頭先睇得唔係好清楚噶嘛，咁梗係最好有啲好似咁樣啊，大隻字寫咗幾多號 number 去邊度，咁啊最好啦。仲有喎，等巴士嘅時候咧會攰噶嘛，咁最好有啲位可以坐低。
從呢個長者個角度出發咧，你會睇到一啲佢哋嘅感受咧，未必係我哋日常平時去啲地方咧所感受得到嘅。
呢啲字嘅大細你睇唔睇到而家？
我睇到嘅，
睇到嘅，紅紅地。
哇！好辛苦啊！頭先我喺嗰棟舊樓上咗2層，好辛苦啊！即係我覺得咧，而家科技咁先進咧，可以充分運用科技咧，就幫老人家設計一啲設施啦，同埋工具啦，方便佢哋出行。
我諗尤其是喺個設計嘅配套方面啦，如果真係將來老人家多咗嘅我哋社區，咁啊老人家要送佢嘅孫翻學嗰陣時候咧，我諗係要多啲嘅可以坐嘅地方休息咯。因為我自己着住呢件衣，我已經感覺到咧，其實我唔可以企得好耐嘅。
嗱燈咧，其實咧就以我嗰個步伐咧，作為一個老人家咧，其實係完全冇可能咧，即係綠燈嗰陣時過到嘅。我覺得咧時間要長啲咯。
我諗好多老人家嚟呢度咧，除咗自己坐嘅時候，都好希望可以隔離有個人同佢傾偈嘅。所以我覺得喺座位嘅設計嗰方面咧，應該盡量咧就唔好一啲得1個或者2個座位，盡量咧就利用個座位咧係將佢即係令到啲人坐喺度嘅時候咧，側邊好容易就有啲老友記一齊咧。
洗手間，而一個老人家要喺嗰個位要行過嚟呢一度嘅，都係遠啲嘅。直接嚟講，可以喺嗰個優點用地裏邊做一個地圖式嘅顯示，即係話最就近嘅洗手間啊，或者其他啲公共設施喺邊度。
尤其我哋而家即係所謂智慧城市啦，咁即係如果係有一啲網上嘅平台，等我哋可以好容易就知道啲公共設施喺邊度啦。
但係你真係要從佢哋嘅角度先到，原來生活所有嘅細節都可以有一啲元素咧，係幫到我哋嘅年紀大啲嘅朋友。
着住呢件體驗衣，想體會一下咧，長者喺公共空間呢個社會裏面行街，究竟會碰到啲咩問題？會唔會有唔適合嘅地方、唔適應嘅地方咧？我諗最重要咧就係令到社會嘅唔同嘅人咧，男女老幼都好，代入老人家嘅角色，了解一下究竟長者喺個城市嗰度生活究竟係點㗎？
我覺得就係多啲留意身邊自己嘅啲老人家，睇下佢嘅需要係啲乜嘢嘢，同埋佢點先至會開心。我相信呢個方法係最直接同埋最有效嘅。
樂活2年共融城市設計。
So the workshop actually is just a start. Today is a continuation, and then the next step is today we have to discuss, and at the conclusion of this conference, we hope we can have action timelines to go on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. Thanks for the sharing.